Welcome to Total Access on Location. Rich Eisen, Marshall Falk, Deion Sanders, and Steve Mariucci witnessing a very entertaining matchup between two 10-1 teams. One that Charles Woodson and Kabir Baja-Biamila sat out Brett Favre in a 3-all game, tossing one to Ryan Grant, leveled by Roy Williams. A hard-hitting affair right from Jump Street. Later on in the first, it's 6-3 Dallas when Favre throws down the middle. An ill-advised throw that we haven't seen much of this year out of Brett Favre.
No, we haven't. They tried to go down the field early several times, and Brett took some hellacious hits.
And that led to this. Patrick Creighton in the back of the end zone for the first pay dirt of the night. Later on in the first quarter, the last play of Ryan Grant on a 3rd and 1 breaks loose for 62 yards in the score, and it's a 3-point game again. Second quarter, first play of Romo to Owens for 48 yards. Terrell Owens had a huge night.
He had a huge night. They moved him in the slot to get him away from Al Harris, and he was very successful in doing so.
The 2 plays after it was Romo to Owens. It's Romo to Anthony Fasano, his first career touchdown, made it a 10-point game again. Terrence Newman with the pick, but more importantly, back in the pocket, Nathan Jones comes in the corner blitz, knocks Brett Favre from the game, separates his left shoulder, and bruises his right elbow, and that pick led to a wide-open Owens touchdown, who had his popcorn ready. No amount of massaging could get Brett Favre back in this game. Aaron Rodgers played, and he played very well, completing to Greg Jennings here, doing the rest. A 43-yard gain, down 27-10, beginning the comeback for the Green Bay Packers. 38 seconds to go in the half. It's Rodgers to Jennings, touchdown, and the Packers get some momentum heading into halftime. Third quarter. What do you tell you here, Steve?
Well, he's saying that his elbow was getting swollen. He couldn't feel his fingertips, and he was pretty beat up.
And he came back on the field, as he said after the game, because there were only 2 quarterbacks, him and Rodgers. Maybe he needed to take a snap, but that wasn't the case, as Rodgers fared extremely well. As I said, he finds Donald Lee after buying a whole bunch of time, 22 yards, and that led to Ryan Grant popping one in the end zone, and suddenly the Packers, without Brett Favre, have scored 14 unanswered, and this point is it's 27-24, but back comes Tony Romo, a 4-touchdown night for him. This, however, was not one of those scores, as Terrell Owens has one bounce in and out of his hands right to Al Harris.
Vindication from the first call of the game when Al seemingly had taken the ball away from T.O., but it was overruled.
But Romo had one more in him. This was a very controversial call, as Tramon Williams is called for pass interference on Miles Austin. Your thought?
Questionable call here. Whenever the feet get tangled, they normally just make the pin, make it a wash, and that's what happened. The DB was looking back. He didn't have hands on him. Questionable call there.
Initially, it was called a wash, but then the referees got together and decided to drop the flag on that play, and that led to Patrick Creighton's second touchdown of the night. Brett Favre, a rare night for him, as he gets knocked from a football game, and the Packers left to wonder what would have happened had they had Charles Woodson and KGB and Brett Favre for all 4 quarters. The Dallas Cowboys win this by the final score of 37-27, and the Packers now have to move on, second place in the NFC, wondering if Brett Favre is going to be healthy for next week in the stretch run.